Okay, guys. Totally different video. April 30th. Obviously, this is you can see this, the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. I'm just going to jump into it because there's really no other way from. I just want to get this out because I don't know how else to say it. This is hitting home for us right now in our little friend circle here on YouTube. Scott's ex-wife has killed herself a couple days ago, and it's the mother of his two kids, girl and a boy. They're both in college. He gave me permission to share all this, by the way. He fought me on a little bit of it, and you'll understand that here in a minute. But what I'm sharing here, he really wanted to get out anyway. This is a suicide prevention hotline. If anybody's feeling this way at all right now, what do you have to lose, guys? If you're feeling that way, make the phone call. Whatever the outcome is after something like that, okay, whatever. But at least you made that phone call. You made that effort. That somebody's there to listen, okay? That's what this is, okay? She killed herself. She left a note. Just a little backstory on what's going on with that. She had just recently got a new good job. She was in some financial issues, but she was coming out of it because of that job. And because of the lockdown, she lost her job. And then everything just went downhill from there. Okay? I mean, there's really no other way to say it. That's just what happened. This is a secondary effect of this illness that's global right now. Okay? This whole situation. Whatever you think is true, this, that, numbers, where it came from, how many did this, should the travel been here, should have been here, should we wait a week to do this, should we wear 12 masks on our head and one on our butt? I mean, what do we do? Right? A lot of us feel that way. But at the end of the day, the secondary part of this is our economy's crashing. It's going, obviously we all know it's in the toilet right now. People are losing their jobs left and right, even though the stimulus stuff's there. Scott hasn't got his check yet. She hadn't got her check yet, which was part of the problem here, from what I understand. From the note and stuff that was left. And, guys, it's a bad thing. The secondary effect of this illness is going to kill more people than the illness itself. I strongly believe that because poverty kills people, guys. You can look back in history. It is a known fact. Poverty kills people. And if economies are in the toilet, there's poverty there. Back in the Great Depression, 1932, there was 22 people per 100,000 dying every day from suicide because of the Depression. And if you go back and look at the population back then, it was way lower than what it is now. So that number really is kind of greatly increased as far as percentage of total population. So just understand that this is something that's not just going to hit here where I'm talking about it, but it's hitting everywhere. And the main thing here is, for Scott, he wanted me to stress the kids. His kids. He can't be there for them right now. He doesn't have the money to get there. He doesn't have the money to do anything like that. His wife, his ex-wife, I should say, not Dr. Albers, his ex-wife, it's the mother of his two children. So at some level, at some point in time, he had to care or at least love this woman at some level. All right? And probably had a little bit of respect just for the fact that she did mother two of her children, his children. Okay? So there's something there too, but for him, it's more so the kids. What they're dealing with right now. And that is, he got a phone call from his daughter right before I started making this video. We were having a conversation, and she called, so obviously he had to take that call. She was losing it. Just flat losing it. And he couldn't be there for, right there with her. He could try to talk her through it through the phone and all that. But man, I couldn't imagine. Guys, he started breaking out in hives. That's how upset he got. A lot of you guys look at Scott, and I understand. He understands it. He does. He understands how you guys see him. He knows that. He knows, okay? He knows that a lot of people see him as abrasive, but you know what? He's not always abrasive, guys. I've seen him do some of the kindest things that nobody has ever even heard that he did. And he won't let me talk about it, okay? I just won't. I won't talk about it unless he gives me permission to do so. I'm not going to, but just know that that's what happens, okay? Just because somebody seems to be that way on the surface doesn't mean that that's actually what's going on all the time. He's never treated me like that. You know, I'm sure you guys have friends that other people think might be abrasive or over the top or whatever. Are you guys going to turn your back on them? No, you're not, because that would make you not a friend. He's my friend first, and at the end of that, he's a human being. His kids are going through something horrible, and you know he's having to deal with that right now. So that's what it is. I mean, that's just me being truthful and honest and upfront. I'm going to leave a PayPal link if you guys want to help him. The funeral cost is like $3,000, and obviously he lost his business and all that back in the fall, like I said, and he doesn't have the money, guys, at all. They want to keep her body there for 4 months before they'll cremate it, before the state will help. And this $3,000 funeral is the bare minimum of a funeral. They're going to cremate her. It's like a 2-hour service or whatever, you know, flower arrangements and all that kind of stuff. Van transfer back and forth. He sent me the screenshot to show of it. I'm not going to because it's just very basic is what it is. But what was kind of odd, and this really doesn't have much to do with anything, but you guys might be interested to know that they're willing to live stream it for people that can't make it there. I thought that was kind of weird. So did he. He even commented on that. He's like, man, that's kind of weird. I'm like, yeah, it is. He was walking around his house trying to find things to pawn. Okay, this is how bad that he's hurting because he can't be there for his kids. And, you know, whatever you think about who he is as a person or whatever, the fact of the matter is, you know, their mother passed away and all that. And sometimes we just got to overlook that sometimes to help people. You know, I ain't trying to, you know, do anything other than I'm just letting you guys know that, you know, he needs the help. If you guys can, he wouldn't want anybody helping him that can't. Okay, he understands that a lot of people are going through financial problems. And if people can't, he wouldn't want you to. That's the God's honest truth. He wouldn't want you to. But if you can, I'm going to leave a PayPal link and all that. And he'll be completely transparent with it. He didn't even want me to do this, guys. He wanted me to talk about the suicide part and all that. And to let people know that, you know, watch out and know the signs and be there for their kids and all that kind of thing. But he didn't want me to do the PayPal link. That's something I'm doing because I had to talk him into letting me doing it. Because he doesn't have any other option. I mean, if I had $3,000 sitting in the bank right now, I'd give it to him. That's just the God's honest truth. I just don't. I don't have it. I mean, man, as a father, to watch another father go through something like that, having to listen to their kids just lose it because they lost their mom, and other people have experienced that too. But for me, this is what's going on right now, and if anybody, you know, has the heart to help or whatever, please do. But on the bigger scale here, you know, he really wanted me to stress about this suicide thing, okay? He's more concerned about that than he is anything else, how it's affecting other kids. And listen to this right here. I mean, this site right here. You know, I found this site. There's multiple ones out there. Okay, guys? Just, if you're feeling that way, please go to it. Make that phone call. You ain't got nothing to lose. What do you have to lose? If you're to that point where you're really going to do something to yourself, I was there once, guys. I was. If it wasn't for my family and my support system here, my wife, my kids, my mom and dad, my sister, her family, all those people surrounded me, and that's what got me out of that. Okay? And this is what I'm saying. Scott's ex-wife didn't have that because she was isolated. And it breaks my heart because she didn't have that, guys. She didn't have that support system. So, if you're feeling that way, guys, once again, call this number, please. I don't know what else to say about all this. And this is just, like I said, back in the Depression, 1932, 22 people per 100,000 a day were killing themselves. Poverty kills people, guys. It drives people to do stuff like that. Not only does it affect people physically, but mentally is where the main issue is, because the suicide rate goes crazy. And with us being in lockdown, our economy the way that it's looking, all that kind of stuff, it really plays hard on people. Especially if you were getting to the point where you were starting to get back ahead like she was, and then all that was just ripped from you in just a second. I mean, can you guys imagine that? So, I'm not trying to say that people understand it completely, because you just don't understand it completely unless you're that person. You just don't. Like I said, I was there. I went through that myself, and I knew that people didn't understand completely what I was talking about. I could tell. But they can empathize. They can understand. But they couldn't completely understand to the level that I could look at them and say, hey, I know you know exactly what I'm saying. Nobody can say that to me, because nobody really does. But this suicide line right here, that is really, it's a good thing. And there's a lot of people out there that could benefit from this and many other suicide lines, guys. This is just one. But this is going to be a growing problem. And this is what Scott wanted me to stress if I was going to talk about this. That this is going to continue. It's going to get worse. Unless we can get ourselves back to the point where, listen, put masks on. Put 12 of them on your face and one on your butt. If that's what we got to do to get stuff back to normal, or at least some semblance of normal, to where we can run businesses and do what we're supposed to do, then that's what we need to do. Doesn't matter what happened. We're never going to know the complete truth of what actually went on. We can sit around and point fingers, that person did this, or we like to use this word, they. They caused this, or they did this, or they did that. Now, they is something different for everybody. It's the Illuminati or the deep state here. It's for they is over here. Freemasons are they over here. The Pope is they over here. The Vatican's they over there. I mean, we can go into all that. Those are whole big conversations. But is it helping? Ask yourself that. Is that helping anything right now? To know who started it, is that going to help us right now? It's not. That's my point. Now, after we get to the point where we're past all the bad stuff here, then yes, we need to figure out what's going on there. But let me tell you where that light is, okay? That light isn't in front of you. It isn't behind you. You know where that light's at? It's right beside you and inside you. Okay? It's from the people around you. Look to them. Look to them. Because that's where our strength is. And for me, Yeshua is my strength, and that's what that's how I live my life, guys. Okay? Positive stuff, prayers, positive thoughts, all that kind of stuff. We got to go for all that. We really do. Look to each other. Love each other. And none of this stuff happens to this level. It's always going to happen at some level. Let's just face that fact. We're being completely raw and honest here on this video. But let's look to each other right now instead of looking to see who caused it. Let's fix it, and then let's figure out who caused it. Whatever the problem is. It doesn't have to be this sickness. It doesn't have to be the secondary part of all of it. It's all of it wrapped up into one, guys. We can't keep, pointing fingers all the time. You know, we're pointing fingers at somebody saying, hey, you caused this, but we don't even know what was being caused. None of us can sit here and say, it started here, here, and here, and we know for 100% fact. How do we know for 100% fact unless you were the one that, quote unquote, went to the wet market or pulled it out of the lab, or it came from the chemtrails and you were actually able to see the nanoparticles? This is other theories I'm talking about, guys. Okay? This is what I'm saying. We talk about this stuff because, you know, we might believe that that's what happened, but none of us can sit here and say 100% factual that that's exactly what happened. None of us can. So let's fix it first. And then we won't have so much of this suicide. Let's fix it. And then our kids won't have to watch their mother kill themselves like this and go through this and watch our friends trying to help their kids go through all this crap. Drop all that. Just till we get it fixed. Drop all of it. You know, drop all the hate that you have for people right now. You want to pick it back up later, that's on you. But there's people out here that legitimately need help. And right now, one of my friends does. And that's why I'm talking about this at this level. Because I get a little fired up about it because, you know, when I care about somebody and they're my friend or my wife or my kids, you know, that doesn't go away no matter what happens. And I hope you guys feel that way about each other also. So let's grab a hold of that for a minute and pull that in and see how much better this world can get in a hurry. Because it will. It will. We don't have to look to see who caused the bad stuff until we get the good stuff rolling first. And then we can look to see who caused the bad stuff to keep that stuff from coming back in. It just, man, I just see so much hate out there. And the same people that say that they love each other and they love this and they love that, they're not willing to forgive other people and look past that themselves and hate on other people. You know, they complain about people getting mad and abrasive with each other and this and that. Hey, let's like I said, let's be honest. We all know. All of us know that we do that sometimes. All of us do it. Some of us do it more than others. But the same people that complain about that stuff, saying love, 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 they're not willing to forgive those that they were accusing of hate. So now who's wrong and who's right? Let's forget about all that crap for a minute. Drop all of it. Look to somebody that you hate and tell them, hey, I'm willing to look past that for a minute. Let's be friends at least for 15, 20 minutes and see where we get from there. Just look past it. That's all I'm asking. 15 minutes. Because I guarantee you in that 15 minutes, if both of you guys are honest, or whoever, don't have to be guys, it can be girls, it can be groups of people. If you're honest with each other, you're going to find something within that 15 minutes that you like about each other. I promise. And then when you find that part that you like about somebody, you grab it, you hold on to it, you don't forget it, and you act on it. And that's what builds good relationships. Don't let somebody out here telling you love this, love that, love this, love that. You know, have an open mind this and open mind that. And then watch them do the exact opposite. Don't do that. That person that's doing that needs to come back to the original thought. So basically what I'm saying is quit hating on each other. No matter what you think about somebody, drop it for 10 minutes, at least during all this crap. And let's figure this stuff out and get past it. And then we can go back to doing whatever we do. If that's what you choose. I won't. I promise you that. I won't. This whole situation has changed my life for good. I lost a friend last week too. Not to this, but unexpectedly, just as unexpectedly. And let me tell you something, it's not any easier. I wish I had said so many things to this person that I just never said. And I guarantee you Scott's kids are saying that right now about their mother. So let's just leave that all behind for a minute and be human beings and love each other just for a second, if we can. I think we can. Not only to help each other, but just to help the whole human race as a whole. You know, yes, Scott needs help with this funeral. If you guys are able to do that, please do it. The PayPal link. But if you can't, and you wanted me to stress this, if you can't, don't. Please don't. But yeah, guys, I don't know what else to say about the suicide thing, guys. This is going to get worse unless we can do what I just said. Let all of it go for a minute. Let's start practicing what we preach. Because I guarantee you, I know that there's people out there in our circle, in our community, that have preached love since the beginning, that are now bought into all the hate. Calling people out this, that, and the other. Does that help anything? It doesn't. Not during times like this. It's just like I said. It doesn't matter who they are right now. What matters is how we react to all this. Because if we're confused, what did your mom and dad tell you to do if you were lost in the woods? Go back to the spot where you knew you were at and then go from there, right? Maybe that's what we need to do as a society. Let's go back to the spot where we knew we were at. Then let's see what it all looks like. That's all I'm saying. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to drop it here, guys. I can't go on with this. This is really, it's got me pretty upset. I hate to see my friend go through this, and I don't know what else to do. So, if you guys can help, I'll leave the PayPal link in the bottom there. Send him some prayers. His kids especially. Anyway, guys, God bless. Yeshua saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.